Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of CookieCast. Today on CookieCast, it's the darkest timeline. So, me just rambling on about, I don't know, being tired is the most thing on this one. It's about being tired. Tired of this, tired of that, and tired of the other. No, I'm joking, just being tired in general. So being tired. Trying to book tickets for the cinema. The joy that is, and sitting down for a minute. TV, a movie. I know, I'm shocked as much as you are, and a couple of bits about computer games and the joys. Before we start, please do consider like, share, subscribe, and comment. Leave a review. I can leave a review. Share that podcast around. Go on, do it. Treat yourself. Go on, you know you want to. Right, let's get started. Here we go. This is CookieCast, the darkest timeline. Hello. It's coming in with that smoky number. I was going to say Barry White for a second, but I don't think that's what I mean. I'm too high. No, not like that. I've got a new chair, and it's not working out. Not gonna lie, it's not working out. In fact, I don't even think this is picking up audio-wise because of how far away from the microphone I am. So if you can't hear me, I do apologise. I do think I need to go lower, but not octave-wise. How are we all doing? How are we today, right now, this week, this life? What's a TV program? How are you doing? If you're good, I'm with you. I'm good. I'm happy for you. If you're not doing so good, feel free to reach out. Reach out to us at the podcast. Jump onto the website, click the email button, send an email. Just say hi. Say, hey, how you doing? I'm not doing well, and we'll get back to you. And that could be anybody. Me, I'll get back to you. I got no problems talking to you. Talk to anybody, me. Apart from that's a whole different, a whole long story that I'm not really prepared to go into at this point in time, because it'll be far too long. There was a thing. Doesn't matter. So if you need to reach out. Do reach out. Absolutely reach out. Get us on the social medias. Get us through the website. Get us through the email. Comment on a video. Just reach out. And if you don't feel like reaching out to strangers on the internet, then there are friends and family and services out there that will absolutely want to hear from you. So, saying all that, we should move on. I've made a list. It is extensive. There was a point where I was like, I should write this down on my list. And when I looked at the list, I went, do you know something? That list looks fine to me. I am going to not bother writing that down. So, I have a list. What might surprise you on this list is a movie. That's right, ladies and gents. And it's a new movie, and it couldn't be much newer because I saw it on the second day it was out. So look forward to that. TV, aplenty. Computer games, aplenty. Not aplenty. Just you'll see what I mean shortly. A dog who's permanently having some sort of very in-depth dream, possibly a nightmare. We'll find out together shortly. And yeah, things that happened this week. So, since the last time we spoke, it's been the holidays, as the Germans would say. Yep, Easter holidays. Starting off with a bang, and by bang I mean bang your head against a fucking wall, because right at the start, first weekend, straight off the bat, clocks change. And anybody that has children up to, honestly, I'm going to say teenage, and even then, I'm not convinced. Anybody that has children, younger children will know the clocks changing is literally the single worst thing that can happen. Of my 4 children, I would say 2 of them are absolutely a risk. One of them undecided. The other one doesn't seem overly affected because, stays up at all hours and gets up at crazy hours. So not as much of an issue. Week off work. Didn't need to use too many days because there was a load of bank holidays involved. Today being one of them. Today is a bank holiday. And I'll get to that shortly. So, join me as we go back in time 1 week. Last Monday we spoke. I am going to imagine that was probably borderline incoherent. I seem to vaguely remember apologising. That seems to ring a bell. I seem to think I apologised this time last week for what was maybe not the best. Who knows? Anyway, let's try and redeem ourselves with a slightly better podcast. So, I think I already mentioned this, but I'm going to double down. You know that bit in the first of the Spider-Verse movies, Into the Spider-Verse, I think it is, where original Peter Parker says, "I am so tired." Honestly, if I thought I wasn't going to get a copyright strike, I'd play it for you now. I've reached a point where I think I might get that tattooed. I'm thinking, get the image where his head sideways being crushed, and just get a speech bubble in line with the style of the movie that just says, "I am so tired." Something I've realised in the last week is I've started speaking in noises. I make this noise now, and what I have come to realise, here he goes, talking about being tired. What I've come to realise is it's my tired noise. My tired noise is generally designed to let everybody know just exactly how tired I am. And I'm sure you're thinking, is he going to demonstrate the noise? Luckily for you, the answer is yes. So, this is what can be heard come out of my face about 50 times a day. All right, I need to get into character. Here we go. We're ready. That is the tired noise. Tired noise is used at various points in time. There's usually some sitting involved, like if you're sitting down, or I find more that I use it just before I have to stand up, because it's that realization of, oh shit, here we go again. And over the course of last week, I was using that noise more and more and more and more and more. It was creeping earlier and earlier into the day. I think I was starting to use it getting into the car, when I get in the car to go somewhere, and I'd be like, oh. So I've forced a yawn now. Oh, this shall pass. I was very tired. Really, 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 really tired. I was starting to lose, I think, my sanity somewhat. And it was starting to wear fairly thin. And yes, you're sitting there right now and you're thinking, but you have all these children and it's the holidays. What do you expect? That's not actually solely what I am referring to. What I'm referring to is when you have to fit everything in. There was a day, and to get everything done that needed to be done, I had to have done a 5k run, walked the dog, and worked out by, part of me thinks it was like 10 o'clock in the morning. And I'd had a grueling day the day before. And one of the parts of the grueling day from the day before was a grueling workout. And at the point in time that I went to try and do my workout, I was like, I don't think I can actually do this. I don't think I have the capacity to do this. When you're tired, you're not overly rational. But it was starting to wear and wear and wear. And like, obviously, getting up, problem. Do you have a choice? No, sir. Going to bed was at points an issue because my eldest stays up a lot later than the other ones, than the little guys, smaller guys. And that just pushes my entire evening back. Like, there are some evenings where I've got a podcast to do. Last Monday, and I think Wednesday, podcasts. So you're doing podcasts late into the evening, and it just pushes everything back. So everything's later. You're burning the candle at both ends, etc., etc. And by Thursday, roll around to Thursday. Thursday was kind of like the end of the week in a sense, because it was the last day that the older two were going to be here. And then we were going into a 4-day weekend, which I'd been counting down for weeks at this point. Since the Super Bowl, I've been counting down to this 4-day weekend. And my intention for the 4-day weekend was to rest, recuperate, relax, etc. Apparently, nobody else shared my plans, because a 4-day weekend translates to let's try and do as much stuff as possible. And I lost it a little bit. I was like, what is the intention here? What is actually happening here? Where's the relaxation? Where's the stop and, smell the roses? We've had a grueling week, let's take it easy. And I wasn't, it wasn't shouty and whatever, it wasn't fire and brimstone, it was just exhaustion. It was WTF. I don't want to do that. I don't want to go there. I don't want to deal with this situation. I want to sit the fuck down for 2 fucking minutes. And in a situation like that, when things are right and things are wrong, that, for example, the other person's like, okay, you've probably got a point. So what we'll do is we'll work things around, and maybe you can get some downtime here, there, and everywhere. And I'll sort of double back to that. So I had reached a level of exhaustion that the likes of which I'm not sure I've ever really known. I'm not sure that the thing being is that I looked at it, I was like, this is self-inflicted. This is not, I've got all these children and they each need something different and they each want to go somewhere different and they each want to do something different. I do have that, but if I was only dealing with that, that's not as big a deal. I think there was one day last week I didn't climb. Obviously there's one day in the last 8, I suppose, at this point in time, 7 at this point in time, that I haven't worked out. There's one day I've not run or like done additional steps, etc. It's all self-inflicted. So I'm not out looking for a pity pie. I'm not out here like, oh, woe is me. I'm just stating some facts. At the point in time that I was like, I don't think I can do this workout. I don't think I can do this X. I don't think I'm going to get through a 4-day weekend if I don't take it easy. Those sorts of things. I started thinking about my life. Like, why can this person do this and I can't? Why can that person do this and I can't? Why is this person able to do this and I can't? And I was like, I said to my eldest, I was like, at this point in my life, I'm staring down the barrel of 50. I'm not, I've got 4 and a bit years left. But when you reach this age, you start counting in 5s. Past that point, you start counting in 10s. It's, at the age I am, you might as well be saying, I'm nearly 50. You're not, but you get what I mean. I can't do what a 30-year-old can do. But I can look at a 30-year-old and say, why can't I do what you can do? And then go, oh, because, I'm this side of 50. So there's that. Then there's a part of me that goes, that's not acceptable. That's not acceptable. We don't accept that. That's not how we work. That's not how we operate. We operate in there's nothing that you can't do. There's nothing you can't achieve. You put your mind to it, you work at it, you push through, you dig deep, all the words that I use. With my son when he's riding his bike. So that was that. Complete exhaustion, complete mental, physical exhaustion, and that then starts to turn into other things. So a long time ago, I'd heard this thing, a deload. A deload is usually where you've done X number of weeks of, it's usually exercise, but it can also tie into diet stuff. And basically you reach a point where you say, okay, this week I'm going to just lift enough weight to keep things moving. I don't expect to build any muscle, but the idea is to not lose anything. You're just keeping everything ticking over and keeping everything lubricated. And at this age, that's a thing. You are going to do less. If you do 15,000 steps a day, on average, you're going to do 10 or less. On a Sunday, my goal is to do less than 10,000 steps. So 10,000 steps, no more. And you really have to target it. Like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. I can't wander off to the shops right now because it'll be too many steps for me. You're going to take a day. You're going to take a week off your diet. Now that doesn't mean it's pizza for tea every day. What that means is, if you want to have a treat here, a treat there a treat 2 or 3 times in that week, there's nobody's looking badly on you. Now, unfortunately for me, that side of things has gone a little off kilter anyway. I weighed in at the heaviest I've weighed in this year today. That is a vast improvement to what I weighed in yesterday. Today's weigh-in was after a day of fasting. So think on that. There are reasons for this. I would like to tell you that it's all, I'm bulking, I'm trying to do this, I'm building muscle, I'm trying to make sure that it's impulse control is what it is. That's the sole reason, and that is off the back of some sadness and some depression and some things that are low level, and because they're low level, they're going unnoticed. And I've got a thing for you. I've got a thing for that. So I'm like, right, deload from the diet, deload from the working out, deload from doing as much, running around like a lunatic. Cut back on the steps, cut back on the working out, just lift enough weight to keep things ticking over. I've already been through all this. As the week wore on, I was like, that's what I'm going to do. It's time. I don't know if I've ever done this. I know there was a point in time where I was like, I was training with my brother-in-law, and this sort of thing got mentioned, like you do a 12-week and then, or you do over a month, you do 3 weeks of training, a week of deload, and then the next week that you train again, you go heavier. I've had personal trainers in the past that have done like these cycles where you do a week, then you increase the weight the week after, then you increase the weight the week after, and after 4 weeks of that, you then drop the weight and the reps, and then you do it all over again. There are a variety of different things out there for deload. But to me, a deload is lift a fraction of the weight. Don't be super picky about your diet. Get less steps. Sit down more. Get more rest. Have a nap. Go to bed early. Do things that make you happy. Play games. Watch TV. Watch movies. And just de-stress, decompress, deload. A lot of D's involved here. So, I was so tired, so exhausted, so burnt out. I was like, I'm going to do it. I've decided I'm going to do it. I am doing it, and it's going to be next week, and I'm set because I can't do anything else. I'm gonna come a cropper if I don't do something soon. But you knew it was coming. I was like, just before I do that, I'm just going to see how I get on over the 4-day weekend. 4 days is like a week. And there was a lot of, like I say, I had a bit of a point where ultimately Leon's like, oh, on Friday we're doing this, and on Saturday we're doing this, and on Sunday we're doing this, and on Monday we're doing this. And I went, okay. And when are we going to stop? We've had a whole week of we're doing this and we're doing that and we're doing the other. This 4-day weekend was supposed to be not that. So I think she sort of caught it a little, realized a little, and came back with, okay, well, on this day, rather than doing this, we can just do this, and on this day, rather than doing this, and on that day, you'll get like a bit of downtime here and a bit of rest there and a bit of whatever, and that sort of, like any good relationship, it was compromised, because I looked at it and went, it's in the middle. It's still doing stuff. We've still got two youngish children in the house. They still need and want to do things. It was Easter yesterday, so you've got to take that into account. You can't let that pass by with kids. So that was that. Now I'm trying to piece it together, because I know things that we've done. Like, we went out yesterday, but I got some downtime in the afternoon. I've had Lions. It's always going to be up there on a real win for me if I'd have to get out of bed at 6:30 in the morning. 1 second. Imagine if you get up at 6:30 every day, and then you can get up at I was going to say 7, but 7:30, 8, that sort of thing. It makes a huge difference in your life. And yes, you do run the risk of having that thing where you it makes you more tired, it makes you more grumpy, it makes you more irritable. But Friday, I know what started it. I was told that I was going to go and climb on Friday, and I was like, I'm absolutely not. Friday is the first day of me having some actual time off, in a sense. So when it came to it, I was like, I'm not going. I'm not climbing, because I'll be climbing tomorrow. So there we go. So that was kind of the first bit. Saturday ended up doing this longer than usual run for a variety of different reasons. And then climbed, and then home. And then Saturday was a bit of in the afternoon, a little bit of rest and recuperation. There may have been a nap. There might have been a nap. I'm feeling like there was. In fact, there was a nap. It was like a 20-minute thing. But it helped me get through the rest of the day. Sunday rolls round. I'm out the door early because dog walk, football, etc. But then there was 2 hours of downtime yesterday afternoon. Brings us to today. A little bit of a lie-in. Up, run. And here's the point in time where I knew things had changed. Here's the point in time where I knew. Went out for my run. Got back from my run, and I was like, that run was fast. Early in the run, I wasn't feeling great about it. In the back, from before halfway onwards, I knew it was fast. I got back, I was like, that run was fast. Checked. I got 4 personal bests. One was fastest mile, one was fastest half mile, 400 meters, and another one. So I was like, well, there you go. That kind of told me everything I needed to know. I knew that if I was running on a Monday morning fast, things were moving in the right direction. I went to do a workout this afternoon just to see how things were working, moving, how it was all going, and yeah, it was great. It was absolutely exactly what I needed. The workout felt real nice, real comfortable. I felt real sort of rested, recuperate, etc. And we're back at it. So, just taking it easy for a few days. And when I say easy, it's not easy. 5Ks and working out and run, climb, workout, etc. But you get what I mean. So as it stands at the moment, not doing it. Not doing a deload this week because I've had what I consider to be like a mini deload. I don't know if I don't think I like this chair. It's not. I think it's too high, but I keep putting it down and it keeps going down. Doesn't seem to make anything better. But it was a gift, and it was a gift I didn't pick. And gift and all. I am pretty sure I have talked about this in the past, but I feel like it's worth talking about again because it's fucking insane. For the last few years for Christmas, Nana has got the kids a voucher for the cinema, and honestly, it's an absolute banger of a gift. Over the years, we went to the cinema a lot, and taking that edge off the price of cinema tickets has always been an absolute win. It allows us to go to the cinema, see a lot of movies, and so on. Couple of things over that time. One was when I buy the tickets, I have to get myself a ticket, and often they just take the money off the voucher. So ultimately, as time goes on, I have to keep putting that money to one side, and then when it comes round and the voucher's empty, then I then go back to paying. And that's that. This year, to rectify this, I got a cinema voucher. We're all off to the cinema. Small problem. Almost nothing to go and see at the cinema these days. So, nobody's been to the cinema so far this year. So, a film that will remain nameless for the now came out last Wednesday. We tried to get to see it Wednesday. No siree, Bob. It was sold out. Well, quick. Check Thursday. Thursday, availability, especially early in the morning, just as day is dawning. So I'm like, right, okay, here's the thing. If you've got vouchers for the cinema, you can't use those vouchers online. You have to go to the cinema. It's one of the dumbest systems I think I've ever heard of. But it's okay because it gets worse. We go out for the morning, and I'm like, look, I just want to do a quick job. And quickly, for no reason whatsoever, run into the cinema. You guys stay here. Off to the cinema I go, in through the doors. Hi, I'd like 5 tickets for this movie tomorrow, 10 a.m. Now, I'd already looked online, and obviously I couldn't book them, so here we are. So the lady goes, okay, which seats do you want? And I look at the seats and go, those seats are wrong. I look at the time and the day and go, I asked for tomorrow. She's like, that is tomorrow. And I'm like, it absolutely isn't, because that's Friday and tomorrow's Thursday. Oh, yeah, you're right. I was like, we're off to a great start. So, okay, same again, same screen. Same situation. Which seats do you want? I've already looked on the app. I want these 5 seats, knowing that they're the cheapest. It's going to cost this much. I'm like, huh? What? I've already priced it up on the app. It should be £40. Cinema tickets are £8. We want 5, 40 quid. Something's not right. I don't have time to deal with this. I don't have time to go through it. Just do it. I walk out. I'm like, hang on a minute. What am I doing? I've been charged nearly £60 for 5 tickets. And I know that it was the cheap seats because I picked them. And I double checked. And it said on it, like, Super Lux something or other. Super Saver. So I know they're the right seats. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? I'm texting Leon. I'm like, I've been fucked over at the cinema. They've charged me 60 quid. They should have been 40. I don't know what the fuck's gone on. This is not okay. Blah, 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 blah. The next day, I'm like, oh, I need to remember those tickets. In fact, those fucking tickets have annoyed me because they've charged me the best part of 60 quid for 40 quid's worth of tickets. I go out the door and walk the dog, or go for a run, or both. I get back. She's like, you're wrong. I was like, I knew it. She's like, the amount that you saw, I was like, was the remaining amount on the voucher? She was like, yes, it was. I was like, okay, it's still wrong. She's like, why? I was like, okay, how much did they charge? She was like, they charged you £48. I was like, okay, should have been 40. She's like, eh? I was like, come here. Look, on today, this is today, we're going shortly, in the same screen, on the same row, 5 tickets, 40 quid. Why have I been charged £48? She was like, you know why you've been charged £48. We've had this before. And this is where I was like, I'm pretty sure I've been through this before. So, if you book online, it's cheaper. And it's something like £1, and I'm going to say it's probably more like £1.50 cheaper to book online. Great. But you don't have the option to pay if you're using a gift voucher. So you go into the cinema, you say, I'd like 5 tickets, please. And there you go. Cool. We're going to charge you £1.50 more for absolutely nothing. I was like, that's a scam. But not only is it a scam, you are devaluing a gift. Because somebody goes, hi, I would like to buy you a gift. I'm going to give you £50 on this voucher. Okay, you've paid £50. But I'm not getting £50 worth of tickets. I'm getting 42 quid, 40 quid of voucher. That's money for nothing. That's free money. Just straight up robbing you. Because what? We're saying that it's for printing the tickets? Don't print the tickets. Don't give me a printed ticket. Do it in a digital form. Because if I booked online, guess what I'm going to get? I'm going to get a digital ticket. Either an email or a wallet thing or just a thing on the app or any of the other bullshit methods that they use nowadays for free. And obviously your ticket is, I've got these tickets, and they go, cool, it's down there to the right. And you go, thanks. You can't do that on your phone? It's a fucking scam. And for the last few days, I'm like, I really want to like tag them on social media and be like, hey, cinema, what's the fucking deal with this? You scamming bunch of bastards. You guys know I've been trying to do something about my anger. I had an incident, maybe the words. Let's go with that. I had a bit of a blow up. It was all valid, I'm sure. I don't even really remember. I just remember it happened. And immediately I was like, the fuck? Obviously, you know, you chastise yourself. You're like, why did you do that? Why? It wasn't needed. It wasn't necessary. Blah, 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 blah. Why? And I went, do you know something? That's a good question. Why? Because I haven't done that for a while. And that got me thinking. It's like, when was the last time I had a blow up? When was the last time that I was like, fuck. Other than, this entire podcast so far. And I tracked it backwards, and I went back and I was like, well, hang on a minute. The last time was a while ago, but that's not the key. The key was, when was the last time I felt like I was going to and had to correct myself? And there was this blank bit of time. And it just so happened to be last week. And when I had that realization, I knew what it was. I knew why it was worse. I knew what the reason was. And I was like, that just isn't fair. I was like, when we're all together and we're all doing stuff, and you could say stresses would be higher, naturally would be higher. You've got more children, more going on, more needing to be done, more people needing to be more places at more times, and you think it's just too much and it's too stressful. Like I was saying, it was exhausting. It may be exhausting, but it is also, in a strange way, soothing, because you're all together and you're doing your things, and you're not always together. Like sometimes, one person goes off and does something else. One of my daughters went to play at a friend's house. My son went off to that place he goes, preschool. So you're not always together, but you're together as a unit. Funnily enough, the first day of this massive blowout, I'm like, well, what's significant? And the realization was, we're not all together. We're not all, and I was like, it was like this huge thing of, oh, wow, it seems like that seems to be the catalyst. The catalyst is, I'm going to talk about this in a bit, because it relates to something on the list. But there was a point in time where I had a full-blown screaming whatever, a computer game. No guesses which computer game. And there was a point where I'd had to, not had to, but there was a point where I'd rage quit a game and all this, that, and the other. And it was literally it might have been Friday or Saturday maybe. And I was like, you can't tell me that it's not a coincidence. Obviously, from a sorting out perspective, from a looking to the future perspective, it's a little bit in the camp of, how the fuck do I go about doing something about that? But interesting revelation. So I mentioned this earlier. I've got a great story. So, Sunday, we go off for coffees, apparently garlic bread, and so the kids can see Nana. It's Easter, some sort of Easter gift exchange type thing going on, and coffees for the grown-ups, garlic breads for the little guys. There was mention of cake, but no cake. Yeah, now I think about it, I'm not entirely sure what happened there. Anyway, doesn't matter. So, we're starting to wrap things up. I'm like, okay. I think I've got my days confused. And I can't think why. Because it wasn't. Yesterday was a different situation. It wasn't yesterday. Now I am confused. Anyway, the point being is, Wait, no. It was Friday or Saturday, and there was a reason. Anyway, right, okay. So let's rewind. Everybody went out either Friday or Saturday in the afternoon. I, home alone. I was like, okay, here's a series of things I could do. I could sit myself down, play some computer games, have an absolute whale of a time. I will feel guilty for this because I could probably do it to get on the treadmill. There were jobs as well. I had jobs to do. So I was like, right, let's be proactive. Let's, really be proactive. And let's do all the jobs. Do all of the things that need to be done. Get showered. Get sorted. Then sit down, play some computer games. Got a couple of hours. Easy peasy. Take an hour for jobs and those sides of things. An hour for some. I was going to say some me time, and I was like, not sure that sounds right. Downtime. So off I go. Treadmill. No, jobs first. Then treadmill. Half hour. Off the treadmill. Into the shower. Shower. Out of the shower. Get dressed, downstairs, make drink, take the drink, sit in the games room, sit down, TV on, PlayStation on. Here we go. The game I'm playing at the moment takes a little bit of time to load. Once it has loaded, you kind of need to get your bearings, which I did. I was like, right, okay, I was doing that thing. I need to look up doing that thing. Okay, I'm going to do that thing. Cool. And then I heard the door. And I was like, You've got to be fucking kidding me. Next thing, I've got, Daddy, what are you doing? Daddy, what are you playing? Can I play? Is this a game I can play? Daddy, can I play this game? Can I play this game? Daddy, can I play this game? Daddy, can I have a go? Daddy, can I play? Can I play? Can I play my game? Daddy, can I put my game on? Daddy. And I was like, and in the end, I was like, right, let me turn this fucking game off and let me put your fucking game on. And I said to Leanne, I was like, do you understand how many minutes between me turning the PlayStation on and me hearing the front door? She was like, I don't know. I was like, it was 15 minutes from me turning it on to the front door going, and the game takes X amount of time to load. And then you have to work out what you're doing. I was like, 15 minutes. She was like, what have you been doing all this time? Like, just trying to get sorted. Just trying to get sorted, man. Honestly, I was like, 15 minutes. That was at the start of all of this. I need some time. And we've all had some downtime. Like, kids have been doing loads of craft stuff. There was painting today. This like big rabbit thing that's been painted, and they did like canvas painting and like all sorts of stickers, and my daughter made me a bracelet, and I looked at it and I was like, that's super cool. So yeah, but yeah, it was quite ironic at that point in time. It said a lot. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to start, winding down. Maybe it's time to stop some of these things. Maybe, I had this conversation with my eldest because I had this conversation with Lamb where I was saying, like, I don't know what I would do if I didn't do all these things. She was like, you could spend some time with your family, with your children. And I was like, nah. My eldest was laughing. I was like, you guys are okay in like small doses, but I don't want to actually spend any time with you. And she was laughing, but that kind of nervous laugh. Anyway, TV wise, me and Leanne will be watching series 3 of Tulsa King. Oh dear. We watched episode 2, 3, 4, and this evening we watched episode 5. She asked me, she was like, how are you finding this series? I was like, I don't like it. She was like, no, I know. It's... You know when you get like series 2 syndrome? I hate series 2 of any series because I'm like, the majority of the time people put all the time and effort into getting that first series and don't really put a lot into like what the second series might look like. So the second series is super disjointed of any TV show. The longest running TV show you've ever seen, the second series will be weird. Series 3 of Tulsa King seems to be like their Series 2. I imagine they had enough to do one long Series 1, and I think it got broken into 2 pieces. So this is very much like Series 2, and it feels like it because, fuck me, it's all over the place. All the characters are like caricatures of themselves. Like each one of them is different to how they were in Series 1 and Series 2. And infinitely worse. They've killed off a character that was revealed in this evening's episode. They killed off a character. I presume, I was saying to Lane, I was like, I think it's like a money saving exercise. If you're like, oh, that person's dead, like, you don't need the actor and you don't need to have to write for that character. You can just say dead. No real explanation is the other thing. They were like, oh, maybe he's flipped. No, dead. There is another character who is just not in it. So you've got that situation. A load of people from season 2 that you probably don't need in series 3 and in it. And then that then made way for a lot of some bad guys. You know, you got to have a bad guy. And this series has a lot. The characters aren't great. You've got this bullshit. They're the worst. You know, at times they are collectively the worst gangsters you've ever seen. Every situation is some sort of misunderstanding or could be explained easily if they just took 2 fucking minutes to have a conversation. And a lot of this is often off the back of a conversation. Like, there was a thing in the episode we watched this evening where I was like, this is fucking bullshit. Why would you have this character be any, like, you would just cut them loose? They're a liability. Why would you go to this? Why would you go to this meeting without this character? Why would you have this situation happen at this point in time? It was just, there's just a lot of that. There's just a lot of why? It's not great. It's disappointing because I felt like the first couple of series were good. You've got a great bad guy in this series. Robert Patrick turned up to fulfill the bad guy role. And he's doing a fantastic job of it. I just don't feel like he's being utilised correctly because... yeah. All the other characters are just caricatures. It's weird. And honestly, annoying. You know, when you give a TV show you sort of, I don't know what you'd call it, you feel like you're being let down when it's not. It's at its best. As far as TV is concerned, I've also been watching season 4 of Invincible. Season 4 has had a bit of flack, apparently, for its animation. I honestly don't see why, because I think it looks great. That's my opinion, and I am entitled to it. But that's what I think. I think it looks really good. They always have a load of shit about how long it takes to bring the new series out. I think that's just a sign that people very much enjoy the series. I feel that they've got a great cast of voice actors. Clancy Brown seems to be doing a lot of heavy lifting at the moment. Seems to be doing more than one character. But Bruce Campbell has appeared, playing a fantastic role. He's Satan. There you go. There was a bit in an episode I watched today. I've watched episode 3 and 4, or most of episode 4 today, where there was a fight in hell. And when the fight started, the music kicked in, and the music was Slayer, and I was like, fuck yes. Honestly, I think it's hands down one of the best things on TV. If I could get round the fucking adverts, I genuinely think it's probably one of the best things on TV. Weirdly, I'm not a massive fan of what's going on with the main character. They've got this sort of identity crisis thing going on, which is understandable and annoying because the character keeps being put in this one particular position, and they keep making what is potentially could be viewed as the wrong choice. And you go, oh, that's a bad choice, and you think you wouldn't make that choice, knowing what we know. So, yeah, it's mostly really good. There are a couple of things that I don't like to see. One of the characters has got some stuff going on with their superpowers, but that has potentially been explained. And I think I said this last week. I don't like the fact that Rex isn't in it anymore because, anything that Jason Mantzoukas does is fantastic. So, some pluses, some minuses. Like I say, it's hands down one of the best voice casts since, I'm going to say it, since probably Justice League. And that is because I know that a lot of the voice actors were in the Justice League. So, did notice that there was only a couple more episodes, and I'll probably get at least one watched tomorrow. So, but day after is new episode day, so we should be all right. I think we'll be all right. I think we'll be okay. As previously mentioned, took the children to the cinema. It costs a lot of money. We went to see Mario Galaxy. This is going to be a twofold thing. It's actually a threefold thing, but one of them is just a minor point. It's a twofold thing. One, I'm going to talk about the movie. Two, I'm going to talk about a different side to this, and that's then going to link into my next point. So let's talk about the movie. I saw Super Mario Brothers, at the cinema. I may or may not have had a little nappy nap part way through. Now, when the kids watch it at home, I know the bit that I missed, and I see it now and go, hey, that's that bit I missed in the cinema because I was, watching with my eyes closed. Other than that, the first one is fine. First one had a lot of controversy around the fact of the voice actors that were picked and the voices used because they didn't do the Mario voice. Was the biggest thing about it. For all I think about Jack Black, I have this weird love-hate relationship with Jack Black. Really weird love-hate relationship with Jack Black. Hard to explain. I thought he was a great Bowser, and we all enjoy the song he sings in the first one. I thought the first one was fine. I think it redeemed itself, and it certainly redeemed itself at the box office. Fast forward X amount of time, and we get a second Mario film. Seemed a little surprising, if I'm honest. A little surprising because it seemed really, really quick. No complaints though. Like I said, we've not been to the cinema this year. So, against better judgment, second day that it was out, sold out day one. Let's go to the cinema. And we obviously picked a good time to go because it was fairly quiet. It was early in the morning. What did I think? 2 Mario Galaxy. Perfectly fine. Perfectly serviceable. Let's give it a score straight off the bat. 8 out of 10. Here's the big one, ladies and gents. The big one. I know the one you're waiting for. Yes, I stayed awake through the entire film. Boom. For my money, already better than the first one. So, what do we think about it? It was fine. It was a perfectly serviceable film. It's an 8 out of 10 Mario film, which has got some heavy nods to other Nintendo properties, which at one point me and my eldest looked across at each other where we were just like, look, fuck yeah. She said that, not me. So you get to a point towards the back end, they go balls to the wall. You're like, yeah, come on, do it. Yeah, fucking loving this. This is fucking great. Yeah, wonderful, brilliant, fantastic. Yes, go on, get it. Nice. Finishes strong, as you would want. After credit scene, and you leave. There's a problem. Problem is, going into this movie, I'd heard it was shit. Sorry, no. I'd heard a load of critics say that it was shit. Anybody who had seen it said it was great. That's weird. So when you look at the numbers, okay, it's got a 41 critic score. That's pretty bad. One review said I had to keep stabbing myself to stay interested. I'm like, that's a pretty scathing review. It ranged from, I think it was like 7 out of 10 all the way down to 0. Audience score, 91%. If your movie has a 41% critic score, yet anybody that actually goes to watch it gives it a 91, I think it's the critics that are in the wrong. Because that film wasn't made for the critics, that film was made for children. And parents of children. Parents of children who maybe played Mario games. Maybe on the NES or the Super NES or the N64. And they took their children who play Mario on the Switch or the Switch 2. And they all go and they all have a jolly good time because the parents go, Mario, you card, you. And the kids go, there's Mario. I play him at home. And this is fun, and I enjoy it, and it made me laugh. And the parents were like, this is fun, and it's enjoyable, and I laughed, and I stayed awake. And everybody walks out with a big grin on their face, and they have a jolly good time. And it introduced some characters, new to Mario movie, but not new to Mario. Yoshi makes his first appearance in the movie. And they have some Nintendo crossover, like I said. They make a character from another Nintendo game, a character in the Mario movie, and you go, that's interesting, that's cool. At the start of the film, it points out that it's the 40th anniversary of it's either Mario or Nintendo, and it's kind of a nod, a little bit of a love letter to Nintendo, and you go, yes. The first 5 days, that film has done $354 million at the box office worldwide. On a budget of $110 million, it is well on its way to being an absolute rip-roaring success. So, doubling back, do we think that the critics might have been the right people to review this movie? Do we think they were the wrong people? Stuff that started appearing online and stuff is suggesting that the critics have reviewed it the way they have for other reasons. Here's my review of the review. If you think I'm going to give this film 41% out of 100, it wasn't a film for you and you shouldn't be responsible for reviewing it. Because it's not. It's a fun movie. It's a good time. You go with your children enjoy it, and you can enjoy the fact that they're enjoying it, and there's something there for you. There's a bit at the end that is super fast paced and really well sort of done and choreographed, all of that. There's a bit so far through where you fully expect a bad guy to be a bad guy and they're not. And you're like, wow, that's a lovely twist, etc., etc., etc. Honestly, I could go on about this all day, but maybe it's time we stopped listening to critics, because apparently they're the last people that know what the fuck's going on. And maybe, just maybe, there might be some agendas out there. I don't know what the fuck your agenda is if you're trying to like review bomb fucking Mario, but I'm not some corporate whatever, so fuck would I know. Funnily enough, speaking of things that were absolutely panned by critics, yet loved by anyone who's played it, I've been playing Crimson Desert. I have not been loving playing Crimson Desert. Real mixed bag this week. Firstly, I've been playing it for like 2 days and I hadn't fought anybody and was like, the fuck is going on in this game? Realised that I hadn't been doing the main mission because I couldn't do the main mission. So went, had to go to the main mission, still couldn't do it. I was like, this is unacceptable. I can't believe I can't progress this game any further. A little googly moogly to find, apparently there's a weird glitch in the game where you have to change the performance settings of the game to be able to do the archery mission. If you've played it, if you know, you know. I changed the performance and managed to do it straight away. It was even, I would say, it was easy. And then we're off. We're off on the main mission. It's had its twists and turns, its ups and its downs. What I will say is this. I reached a point where, as I was talking about earlier, I had a full-on rage quit because I was so angry because there'd been an update and the update made the game worse. Hang on a minute. The one rule with this game is if you can't do it, go and do something else. Go and do anything else. Go and plant an apple seed at the farm at your camp. Just go and do something else and come back later. Ideally, try and level up a little bit before you come back. And if you can, chances are you're going to be able to do it. And that's what happened. I got all hot and bothered. I got all kinds of angry. Went and did something else. Came back, did it first time. Easy peasy. So, more recently, I've been getting into like these huge battles. Like trying to like completely liberate entire regions in one go. And you're like, I better strap in for this one because I'm probably going to be here for an hour. The way it works now is like previously in the game, it'd be like, oh, you need to clear out this camp. So you go into the camp and the camp's got like, I don't know, 50 guys and you take them all out and there you go, camp liberated. Now it's like, oh, I've got to go and liberate this camp. And it's like, okay, cool, there's 1,500 guys. You've got 100% and you've got to get it down to 0. And every person you fight and take down is like 0.1%. And you're like, oh, okay, gonna be here a while then. So it's a little bit like that. Bit focused a little bit more on upgrading gear. So I managed to find a way to upgrade the sword I've been using. And I've been trying to look at upgrading some Abyss artifact stuff because I've got some stuff that I want to put on something but can't work out how to do it. Beat a couple of bosses. One was this giant gorilla type guy. That was kind of fun. And I thought I'd beaten a boss the other day to find out that I'd like played this afternoon to find out that I have apparently still have that boss to beat. I don't really understand. Not entirely sure how that works, but we'll see. VR wise, you know what your boy's been playing on VR, and that's because Into the Radius 2 has a brand new beta. It looks like they are getting ready for full release. Not like that. And the game now has a story mode. And it's got a guide, and it's got a lady who rings you up and tells you things, and all these differences. The thing that annoys me the most is whenever you play a beta, it looks so good. It looks so good. I'm like, why can't you transfer this to the game? I don't get it. Anyway, looks amazing. Plays great. Small problem. Last night, I had this story mission to do, and it was like, go here and do this. Couldn't work out how to get into the church, is what I'll say. Couldn't work out how to get in. Found a load of clues. Worked out in the end. Took a while. Then it's like, right, you got to do this thing. And I spent, I'm going to say conservatively, I'm going to say half an hour trying to do this thing. In the end, had to turn it off to go to the internet to say, how the fuck do I do the church? Nobody has done it, has uploaded it or anything. So I had to like refine my search. And then I found somebody who was doing like a live stream of them doing the church. I watched the majority of the video to find that of all the things I'd tried and all the things I could try over the next 1 million years, I would have never thought to try the actual solution for that bit of the game. And I was like, fuck off. Angry, annoyed, pissed off, didn't cover it. Now, this isn't the first time something like this has come up in this game or games like this, and now I know. So in the future, I won't have to deal with that. But, oh my fucking God, unbelievable what it was, what the solution was. I was like, that's a fucking piss take, is that? From what the notes for the update were, what it says is that the beta is good to go, and then I think they are looking to go into full release. The story is not complete, though. This is like the first part of the story. One of the elements of the story is the guide is like, hey, while you're doing your job, we can also try and escape. So we're going to go and do this other thing. The other thing that you're supposed to do is essentially wander around in the dark using a compass and hope you don't fucking die. Yeah, your boy, he died a lot. It was not fun. And I went, yeah, really hope I don't have to do that again, knowing full well that I will have to do it again. One thing, and yeah, I hold my hands up on this one, but all of the mods I'd been using get sort of deactivated from it switching over to the beta. Obviously, the modding community, they're on the bobby, so within a couple of days, all the mods have been updated and they work with this version of the game. So I have mostly modded the game back to some sort of workable sense. So yes, I will continue on and I'll keep you updated, but yeah, interesting. Right, there we go. That is this podcast, this episode, and I will catch you next time. So there you go, watch things out. Another one done, another one gone. Oh, there you go. That's that noise again. I did it. I didn't even intend to. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Before you leave us, please do consider like, share, subscribe, and comment. Leave a review. I can leave a review. Check out the website, thecookiecast.com. There we have social media links and an email button. And that way you can get in touch with us. That's it for this one. Until next time, I'm going to say bye, and I'll see you then.
How awesome is that? So awesome. You gotta like, share, and subscribe.